uh, the foreclosure portion. Now, I don't know if you all are tracking what happened just actually a couple days ago. Uh, so there's this massive push for foreclosures. Like I've been telling you all, these agencies are in their death throes right now. So they're trying to grab as much property, as much money as they can before Doge gets to them, before the corruption's uncovered, before these people go to jail. So they're trying to get as much as they can, and they're trying to get out of the country as fast as possible. So this is a grab and run type of situation. Now, in saying that, just the other day, there was the largest amount of foreclosures that's ever happened, probably in the history of this nation. There's so many houses that were just foreclosed on without any real basis at all. So I'm helping my neighbor, if you don't know, uh, with his foreclosure that they didn't announce. He got no notice or anything like that. What happened was the original company that he got his house from, they gave him a heads up and said, "Hey, um, the people that hold the note are foreclosing." He didn't know anything about it. He kept getting letters in the mail about how people were wanting to buy his house, sending him live checks and stuff. If he would have cashed it, they would have bought his house off those live checks. Anyways, all these different things, but there was no notice given to him that they were even attempting to foreclose any company. So he went through and the sale already happened the other day, which the majority of people who had their houses sold, uh, you know, I guess in foreclosure, it really just happened the other day. It was just a ton of people just had their property basically stolen from them by these criminal organizations, these banks, these shell companies. Really, is what they are. They're LLCs, they're pop-ups. It's ridiculous what they're doing. But anyways, let's get into it. What do you do when this happens? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to get down to your recorder's office. All right, when you go to your recorder's office, you're going to need some documents, and this is what you're going to have to do. All right, so you go to your county recorder's office, whichever county you're in. Some of them are in the courthouse, some of them are not. You just got to figure out where your uh, your property recorder's office, deed recorder's office is. So what you're going to go in there for is you need records. All right, you're going to be requesting some of your records. You're going to need the notice of default or a return receipt signed by you. All right, you're going to need the current assignee and assignment. You're going to also instruct the recorder while you're there. You're going to have them go ahead and record your index, and you're going to index the property. They're going to know what you're talking about when you say this. They're, you're going to index the property from you, whatever name you have on your uh, title, from where you originally bought the property. It'll get indexed from you as uh, the mortgager. All right, and you will index it to either yourself or your trust, however you want to set it up, as the index E. And that's basically you showing that you owned it, you sold it to either yourself or the trust. All right. You're going to do that portion just to have it meet with showing that you're the owner, basically. That's what you wanted to show and display. Now, then you get into the next part of that. You're going to check to see if there is a release of lien from the original mortgage company. So what happens is whenever they have that note and they have that lien against that note, when they sell that to a different company, like for example, if it was Veterans United, if you're in the military and you got one of the military loans to buy a house or property, it'd be Veterans United, who is the originator, the original mortgage company. Then they sell it to Penny Mac or Sally Mae or uh, what is it, Jeannie Mae or Benny Mac or whatever the heck the other. They're all acronyms. They mean something. It's not someone's name. It's an acronym that some like government organizations. These are NGOs. These are fraud companies. Anyways, they're gonna have to be on there as a assignee. They're gonna have to get that document assigned to them. But whenever they do that, the original mortgage company will release that lien. All right. If there's a release of the lien, then you could go get the title. If that lien was released, you could have them print that out for you, and you could go get the title from your title company, the one you went through. You paid for it in the beginning, so you shouldn't have to pay for it again. That's their whole purpose. That's what you paid the money for. So you just go back to them and say, hey, they released the lien. I need the title. And you show them that document that you got from the recorder's office. All right. Now, if it's not on there, it's not on there. It just depends on which company is coming after you for the property back. Usually it's not the original mortgage company, but we'll get into that later. All right. You're going to also, you're going to request the title policy and all schedules. That's what you were going to ask from the recorder's office. Say, hey, I want the title policy with and all the schedules, and they'll give you that as well. Now, I'm going to kind of skip around a little bit, but on purpose. I want everything to flow. So that's what you're going to do for when you go into the recorder's office initially. Now, the reason you're doing this is you're trying to gather evidence, and you're going to be going, at this as if you were going to court, because you will be. And you want to make sure you have all your documents on the record, the ones that need to be on there, and they have to be correct in your favor. So this is why you're doing these steps. All right. So then you get into the next portion of this, which is you need to see what is required for them to be able to foreclose. Now they have to have certain documents to even attempt to foreclose. All right. Some of those documents you're going to see on the recorder's office from where you got those. So on either Schedule B or Schedule C, their name has to be listed in there as the assignee on either one. So if they're not on there as an assignee, they can't even foreclose. They're not even a party to the property at all. They're not assigned it. So they can't be on there to take the property from you. They have no claim, basically. All right. They also need a writ of possession from a judge. It has to be signed from a judge. Now, this is where they're going to come into a lot of issue. In order for them to get that writ of possession, they have to go through the court. Now, just because they sold the property doesn't mean the foreclosures happened. That's pre-foreclosure stuff. The foreclosure doesn't happen until after the court makes the determination that you no longer own the property, that it is awarded to them. That is the foreclosure. So all the way up till that part, you're proving that they don't have a case. And you're going to need every piece of these documents that you get, and any documents that prove otherwise, you need to put those on file. You want to build the strength of your case, because when that judge goes to look at the documents, all he's going to see is what's recorded at the recorder's office, and it has to be, notarized, stamped, and put on the record in there, which is easy. You're going to make sure that happens. They're not going to have that. They're not going to do all that. All right, so now after we get through there and we know what they need, then we're going to go into what you're going to show with your documents. So there's a purpose that you're doing this, and an angle that you're trying to go at when you go into court. All right. And the angle that you're trying to aim for is they do not have the standing in a executory process uh, to take the property. There's no standing for them. All right. So what you're going to be showing is, for one, the judge under Article 3 of the Constitution, he cannot take a property from you. He can't take what you own and give it to somebody else without consideration and everything like that. Now, uh, whenever it's an executory process, like we just talked about, they're not asking for money at this point. And one of the ways that I could show you this is I actually have the document from my neighbor here. Let's see if I can hold this up, make sure his name and stuff's not on here. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of it I can't hold up. Okay, so we'll go like this. I mean, there's not, it's backwards anyway. There's not a whole lot I could show here. But basically, if you look in here in block F or H of the document that the sheriff gives you, it's basically a notice that they're trying to foreclose, and that you have like 2 weeks to answer, or 10 days, or whatever it is that they give you. For this one, so the massive, I guess, foreclosure auctions that just happened, that was on the 4th of March. So they gave you 10 days after that, because this says the 14th. You have to answer by the 14th, and you have to answer in writing. So you want to get these documents from the recorder's office so you could then go back and answer them in writing, and then all the stuff is on file. It's in the recorder's office. So whenever the judge pulls the record, he's going to see everything. All right. So on the document that they give you, it says that they don't want any money. They're not trying to claim money. They're not saying you owe anything. They say they want the property. That's what it says on the document. And that's going to be in block H. It'll be plaintiff's demands, and they demand foreclosure for the property. So it's good too, because the company that's claiming the foreclosure on this is, like I said, it's an LLC. That's not the mortgage company. This guy had two mortgage companies. He had Veterans United, and he had PennyMac. Neither one of those are listed on here. The one that is PCI Holdings LLC. They're not even a part or party. They never were. What they did is they went and they bought the note, thinking that means they own the property. It doesn't. However, we'll get to that as well. Now, on this affidavit for summons of dispossessory, sorry, I can't speak today. It even says here in the bottom of it that you have to answer before the 7th day. The case will be in default if you don't answer. So this is basically like an affidavit style document that they send you. All right. So you'll go ahead, you'll answer back onto that. You'll get in there as fast as you can with your documents. And I'm going to tell you what those documents are that you need. Like I said, you're going to make sure your records are up to date. You're going to have them index you as the mortgager and the mortgagee. All right. Make sure you have that release of lien, if there is one. If there's not, that's fine. Let's see. All right. So getting back to the angle that we're working on here, there's a thing called the status quo. And the judge has a duty to uphold the status quo when it comes to causing harm. All right. So if the judge takes the house from you, it leaves you homeless. That causes harm. But if the judge takes the house from them, they're not homeless or anything like that, there's no harm there. So the status quo, which is the judge's responsibility to uphold, uh, is not in their favor. It's in your favor because you own the property. You're in the property. It's yours. That's very important because the judge cannot cause harm and the judge cannot upset the status quo, meaning he can't take your property and give it to them. So right there, you have a very huge swing in your favor, and you need to keep that in mind whenever you get ready to go to court. Now, you need to make sure that that they know this is a equity issue. This whole issue is all about equity. This is a injunctive hearing. All right. So so right here, they want the property, not money. This is called a injunctive hearing. Uh, no bank in America has this standing, and it is in the jurisdiction of equity. And that's Article 3 of the Constitution, Section 1 through 3, I believe. Uh, and then you're going to make a copy of that Constitution section, and you're going to put that on the record at the recorder's office as well. You're also going to put that in your motion because you're going to be motioning to the judge. All right, injunctive cause, it is non-monetary. So you're going to be doing an injunctive cause, and it's because it's not monetary that they're going to be trying to go for that. You're going to show irreparable harm, showing the bank will be okay, but it will leave you homeless if they take the home. Status quo, if you're living in the property, you have the status quo. The banks do not, under law of equity, Article 3, like I said. Judge has a duty to uphold your equity. The property is not encumbered and the status is still intact. All right, that's a very important thing to say. The property is not encumbered and the status is still intact. All right, that means there's nothing barring you or holding you from being on that property because you own it still, and the status is intact, meaning you still own it, you still possess it, they don't own it, they don't have any kind of status quo on it. You're good to go. All right, but you got to say those exact things in your document and to the judge. All right, you got to make sure he understands that the property is not encumbered and the status is still intact. The judge's authority is to keep the status quo. This is also going in your affidavit that you're going to be putting in for your motion. There is no way for the judge to give the bank the status quo. The banks do not have standing because they have no status quo. The judge cannot grant them the property, and the property is the status quo. It means you hold it. This is a non-monetary hearing. There is no case law, code, statutes, or law that says that they could do this under equity. So this is an equity hearing. There's nothing that says they could take the property from you and give it to somebody else. And you can look that up under the Constitution as well, like I said, Article 3. And whenever the Constitution is talking about being secure in your property, that's part of this. Now, if the judge is going to take your property or the state's going to take your property, they have to give you consideration. All right. And if they're not asking for money and they have to give you consideration, you could ask for money. If they're going to take the property, you are able to ask that they go ahead and give you money. They're not asking for money. They're asking for the property. And if they're going to take it anyway, you might as well get paid for it. Tell them what you want for it, though. All right. So that's what you're going to have. That's what you're going to be up against. You're going to need that for court. You got to do up your affidavits. I will send those out, the ones that I have that I'm working on right now for this. And like I said, this is a process that I'm going through with my neighbor. And I'm actually in the middle of moving. I was getting ready to move out whenever my neighbor came and hit me up with this a few days ago, and I told him, okay, we'll work on it, but the issue is I've already packed up. I know you can't see too much into this room, but I've got boxes stacked in here. This is our external little storage area and stuff, and I'm just waiting for the moving company to come and grab these off. But I'm going to keep going as much as I can until that happens. And even whenever I get moved to the other place, I'm going to go ahead and keep putting out videos and stuff and getting this going. Um, so we know what they need. We know what we're going after and how to go after it. Uh, we know they don't have standing. We know that no judge can seize the property and give it to them. So as far as them being able to do much of anything, uh, they're going to be kind of stuck in an issue because, like I said, they can't just take the property and grant it to somebody else. Um, that's unconstitutional. And since they're in a court of equity, is what you're going to be going through anyway, they can't do it. All right, so when you go to file everything, you need to make sure that you have all your questions, anything that arises as you're going through this, you have it notarized and recorded on the record in the recorder's office of the deeds, not the court clerk's office or any of that. It's got to be recorded on the recorder's office for your property. Same thing if they have a claim against you, if there's a lien or anything, if there's all this different stuff in this other company's name, uh, it has to be recorded. If it's not recorded, then it doesn't exist, basically. They could claim whatever they want, but for them to be able to put that in the deed and have it recorded on the deed, they got to be an owner of the property. Like random people just kind of can't go into the recorder's office and say, "Hey, I want to add this to the property." They're going to need something from a judge or something like that. But you, as the owner, and you could show that you're the owner, you could go in there and you could put things on there. When they do a foreclosure sell, that doesn't make them the owner. It just means that they're trying to buy the property. And like I showed you, they're not even asking for money. They're asking for only the property, which means they don't have a financial interest in the property for them to be able to try to even leverage that against you. So I hope that helps. Uh, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Like I said, I'm doing this process with my neighbor. We're getting ready to go through it. Uh, I guarantee there's somebody in your neighborhood going through the same thing. This was such a massive scale that they took all this property from people. This past, since January, uh, these courts, these repo agencies, these tow truck companies have just been fleecing America for all the property that they could get. They're trying to get as much money as they could escape with. And we don't want to let them get by with this stuff. We want to stop them as fast as possible. And the best way to do it is to get after them, know what we have to have on the record, know how we can perfect that title and get that title in our name. The only way they're able to come after it is because we haven't went through and perfected it anyway. So this will help a lot on that front, and it'll get them off your back. That's the biggest thing. You want to keep that money in your pocket, and you don't want the threat of someone being able to just steal your property at any time that they feel like. And you'll make sure that when you go into that recorder's office, that the documents have your name listed on there as the grantor and the grantee, and you're going to make sure everything's good and secure. Now, you could reach out to me on Telegram at any time if you want to talk or ask questions. And if you want to support what I'm doing, because I not only do this in my community, I do this in a lot of communities. I actually went down to Florida not too long ago because it's a neighboring state, and I was helping some people down there as well. If you want to help with the movement, you want to get involved, you could always join our Telegram. And if you look me up, it's the letter A in Pure Cure, just like my name. You can find me on Telegram. I'll send you the link for the group. You can become part of the group. If you want to donate, I don't really, like to get donations. You could give donations if you want, or you could go shop on my store. I use all the proceeds from my store for these court cases. I filed probably, I'd say, maybe seven. I'd say about seven lawsuits since uh, September of last year, whenever I really got heavy into this, and majority of those got kicked back, but it's something that we're going to constantly be doing. You guys will be doing it. I'll be doing it. It's $405 for every lawsuit that you file. So, hey, we get after it. I mean, that's what we're doing here. We're not going to let them get by with anything. We're going to stop them whenever we can. It's just we got to be able to fight. So, like I said, get in there, get the cure to some of these diseases. There are many diseases out there that have a cure: cancers, herpes, all kinds of different things that have cures. Even polio. It's all similar things, and all you have to do is know what medicines to take, and you could actually cure yourself. Now, if you got diabetes issues, there's no medicine. However, it's just dietary change, and I go over those in my videos. Check them out. I have some of the videos up on Rumble here. uh, See what it is, see how to fix what you got. I go over many, many things. And if I don't have an exercise to fix it or some sort of dietary method, then I have some sort of medication or herbal remedy or something like that that will work. Now, I only post the things that I know will work, that have been third party tested. And in my videos, I even reference the third party testing as well, and where it comes from. So you'll be able to look it up, find that evidence, that proof if you want to look it over and everything. Plus, I talk about it in my videos. So it's great having you all here. I'm sorry I haven't been making so many videos. I've been super busy trying to get all this stuff together and everything. But I think we're finally getting after it. Like I said, it's changing every day. And every time we put in stuff, they're changing their methods and they're trying to get by with it as much as they can. But it's coming to an end, and they are they're they're running as fast as they can to get as much as they can before we run them out of this nation or put them in jail. So thank you all for your support and your help in doing this, and reach out to me if you need my help additionally. All right, I'll talk to you all later. You have a great night.